Good morning everybody and welcome to a new vlog. So it's all change here in Lincolnshire. It's a new week and the weather has been absolutely glorious. The garden is springing to life. I am springing to life. Everything is springing to life. So I do feel that it's kind of time for a spring body, mind, home reset, that's for sure. And one of the first things I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to sort out the flowers in the house. I always like to have lots of flowers in the house, and I've just gotten rid of, it just finished, my Smith and Munson subscription that I get every month. And they were these beautiful tulips. I'll put a picture up on the screen for you to have a look at. They were absolutely gorgeous with this kind of little frill around the edges. And I was at the supermarket and saw these really pretty kind of orangey, yellowy tulips as well. And I thought it would be nice to put them in a vase. Well, a vase. I use this jug here on the kitchen table. I like to have kind of springy flowers on the kitchen table. And Smith and Munson gave me, or gives you, a little hack that helps your blooms last much longer and stops them from flopping over. And that is that when you get things like tulips, tulips have a tendency to keep wanting to grow, and then they want to kind of grow and flop out. You wrap them really tightly in some paper and keep them in the water for at least 2 hours. So when Smith and Munson tulips come, they already come wrapped up, with the top wrapped up as well. And you put them then inside some water and leave them there for a couple of hours, and it stops the tulips wanting to kind of escape that way. It really works. So that's a little hack for you. So I'm just going to trim the bottoms of these here, these very pretty tulips, and take a few of the leaves off, and they are going to then go on my kitchen table. So there we are. That's a beautiful colour actually. I really love this colour. It's really cheerful. So that's now going to go on the table there in the kitchen. And the other thing that is looking quite bedraggled is my pot of muscari. They were blue, these muscari, and they were in the living room, and they are completely finished now. And I want to reuse this pot for some more bulbs, or maybe a few little bedding plants might be quite nice as well. So this now, what I would normally do is, I would normally just kind of, as the blooms fade, I would just chop the odd one off here and there. But because they've all gone together, this is now going to go outside. And don't waste these bulbs. Plant them in the garden. Or what you can even do is, you can take them out of the pot. Don't chop off any of the greenery. Leave the greenery on there. Let them dry out somewhere, just in a patch outside, even if they're on your windowsill. Let them dry out, and then keep the little bulbs, and then next year, and actually this year in the autumn, you replant them, and then you will have them again in spring. So you don't need a garden. You can do this all inside. If you've got a flat, you can do this, and you can, or an apartment, you can do this. It is no problem. If you've got a garden, you can pop these outside, and these will come up year after year after year. So there's no wastage. So I'm going to go and take this outside now. Right, so for breakfast, I had scrambled eggs, a little bit of bacon on some toast, and that was delicious. I was up really early this morning. I've been getting up much earlier, and in actual fact, my sleep has been a little bit disturbed, and I think it is hormonal again. I'm getting the hot flushes, and it's just, intermittent. I have noticed that within, I would say the last year or maybe 18 months, my sleep has really changed. and it's definitely hormonal as well. But you know, it is what it is. Anyhow, getting up early is good because it means that you get a lot done in your day. So yeah, so I had breakfast really early, and now I fancy something sweet but filling at the same time. And so I got out one of my little smoothie jars that I freeze in the freezer. I do these smoothie jars. I showed you last year. It was kind of midsummer last year. If I can link that video, I'll link that video and where you can see, but I'll just put a few little clips up on the screen where you can see what I put into my smoothie jars. They're quite complicated, and they're complicated not because of all the bits like I do kale, I sometimes do avocado, I have banana, I have berries, sometimes I put a bit of oats, I've got nuts, I've got seeds, I've got nut butter. It's not that that's complicated, it's then all the powders that I put inside. So I've got things like electrolytes, my collagen, I do a protein powder sometimes as well, and then sometimes I put in my greens powder, which is like spirulina and chlorella and all that kind of stuff, and that goes in there. And when I think about making myself a smoothie and I think, oh gosh, now I've got to go and I've got to put a little bit of everything in, it kind of puts me off. And I really do like smoothies. I love them, especially now the weather's getting better. The smoothie season is coming in, I think, anyhow. So I do them in these little jars. So I've got a few of these little Kilner ones here. I take out the rubber insert in there, otherwise when you freeze that, it then breaks. But this is fine like it is, or a normal jar with a screw lid. And I would freeze about a week's worth. So, and like I mentioned in my last vlog, I think it was, I don't really like doing next day smoothies. If I'm off somewhere and I don't have time in the morning to prepare something, then I will take a leftover smoothie from the fridge for the next day. But I'm not big on that. I just feel that all the nutrition goes, and then all you're doing is just kind of filling yourself up. Oh, well, you've got the powders, I suppose. So it's a little bit frozen at the moment. That's the problem though. When you freeze this, if you don't take it out I have to take it out for about 20 minutes, because when I turn it upside down, it won't come out because everything's frozen in the bottom. But I'll get to that in a minute. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for my smoothie jar to defrost a little bit, I am going to unpack a Boots order with you. It's not a very big one, but there's quite a few products in here. So in our town, we have 2 Boots stores. They're small, one's bigger than the other. And I find that whilst I go there and I kind of get my staples like, you know, tissues and Lemsip and stuff like that, I find that they don't have a lot of like makeup-y stuff stocked there. And when I go in looking for something in particular that I might have ordered online, I can't find them in these Boots. I mean, I understand that they can't have everything. So I tend to do my Boots shopping online because I always get it the next day. I always get everything that I want. And Boots has got so many different brands on there that you can really just be on there for hours. So the first thing that I've got here is this little beauty. Let me come close. I might stand on this side. That one. Garnier Body Summer 24-hour gradual tan lotion. Whilst it's not really warm, and you know it is getting warmer, I don't have all of my limbs out at the moment. But I am thinking slowly about getting them out, and I don't really want to get them out in the colour that they are at. So this stuff here, you probably see people talking about this all the time, especially influencers talking about it. But this is fantastic. This gives you a kind of really golden glow. I never have any issues with streaking with this, and the great thing about this is it's not stinky. It's not that kind of gradual tan, fake tan smell. It's got apricot oil in it, so it's quite sweet. When you smell it, it is quite sweet. And it's a great price as well. I mean, if you've got really, really dry skin, it may not be enough for you to actually moisturize it as well. So what I do is I will start using this, and then as this goes down, I then fill it up with the moisturizer, the body moisturizer that I nearly always use, and that is the Ameliorite body lotion. I've mentioned it before. I'll probably mention it again 100 times, but that is what I use. So that is the Garnier Body Summer. I think the Dove one, is it Dove? Does something called Body Shimmer. Or is it L'Oreal? I don't know. But this one is the Body Summer Gradual Tan, and it's in this container. So the other few things that I got in here that were kind of medicinally based was I did get some more lemon sip. Lemon sip's always handy to have, in my opinion. I got some more Rescue Remedy as well from them. And I mean, I didn't need this, but I've been looking at this for quite a long time, and I have been influenced by many, many influencers out there. And that is, I have joined the Estrid Club. Not a club as such, but you know what I mean. So Estrid is a sustainable company. They're Swedish, sustainable company that does, the main thing that they did first of all was they did razors. So let me just put this razor head on here. And they do a subscription service for razors. How does this work? Like all the other ones? Yeah, I think so. And whilst I didn't need another razor, I jumped on the bandwagon because look how beautiful that is. That's why. And it's quite weighty as well, quite weighty. So you can do a subscription service, and I'm pretty sure Boots will do the subscription service as well. I don't know, you might have to look into that. There's all different coloured razor handles, I suppose this is called here, razor handles. And then there's a wall holder that you get as well, which is, let me just put this on, everything is coming apart here, which is again in a very, very pretty green colour, and it just sticks to your, in the shower, and then you just mount this on, and isn't that beautiful? Good looking. Yeah, razor blades. Okay, there's two things about razors. This part, the actual razor with the blade, is still not biodegradable, unfortunately. They had to do this, I think this is in plastic, and then you've got your razor blades. They're looking at doing drop-off points that you can actually get rid of these, and then they will be recycled. But this part is the interesting part, and this is the same as companies like Gillette as well. They do the same thing where you just get the razor blades. If you're using these razors, you know these, what they call travel razors that you can get with the plastic handles, those razors, like toothbrushes, are still in landfill, and they will be in landfill for I don't know how long, forever, our whole lifetime anyhow. So I do think it's quite nice to get something that is a little bit more sustainable, that's for sure. Even though, you know, the blades, they're still working on the whole blade issue. So that's that, and moss green. Green is one of my favorite colors. I absolutely love it. And the rest of my stuff that I got here is kind of skincare-y, makeup-y. The first thing here is the Color Riche. Yeah, Color Riche Le Lip Crayon. It's L'Oreal. And I do like a lip pencil, I must say. I'm always going for lip pencils. I like this color. It's called Organza. It's kind of in between a kind of brown and a pink. See there? And I'm thinking This is weird. Using you. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. And I could actually use this as a proper color as well. It's kind of like a brownie pink. Very good price. I think I got quite a few of these things, like 2 for 1s, or there was, oh, that's right. This here, I got this for free. This was a pore minimizer, L'Oreal pore minimizer for your face. So that came as a freebie with this. The next thing that I've been influenced on, I'm buying, is this Bioma lip oil. Let me just, yeah, so this is called Bioma Lip Tide pH lip oil. Lots of reviews on this, and I'm always looking for a lip balm. I'm on the hunt, even though, like I said last time, I ordered another one of the Ordinary Squalane amino acids lip balm. That's another thing that I got from Boots. Let's try this. How does this open? It's in like a fluorescenty. Oh wow, it smells amazing. If I can get this out. Okay. It tastes good too. It tastes kind of watermelony. A lightweight lip oil with our ceramide and peptide-rich lip tide complex and hydrating avocado and tamanu oils. Okay, well, we'll try that and I'll let you know about that one. The next thing that I got from L'Oreal is this 24-hour micro precision pencil for brows. Now I'm completely obsessed with my brows. Infallible brows, and that's a L'Oreal thing as well. So that is another thing that I'm going. I got brunette because I have noticed with my roots coming through that I am a little bit darker than I thought. I thought I would be blonde, but I'm not really blonde. I'm more a kind of brunette-y color when it comes to eyebrow pencils. And it is very, very fine. It has like a screw up. Yeah, that's the right color for me. Oh, right. I'll enjoy playing with this. And then on the other end is the spoolie, which I'm always looking for now. The spoolie. So that's, yeah, infallible range. And the other infallible thing that I got from them was this brow lamination. And lamination just means sticky up. And this is up to 24 hours as well. This is a little gel that you put on your eyebrows. I've got the Anastasia Brow Freeze, which I use, but this is kind of better for traveling because it's just in a little wand thing rather than the Brow Freeze is in a like a thing like this, a round thing, and then you've got to use an extra brush for it. So that's, yeah, I'll see what this is like. 24-hour brow lamination. Interesting. Okay. I did get myself another lipstick, and this is another L'Oreal that I got. And I used to wear this color years ago. When I first arrived here in the UK, I used to wear this color. It's number 505, Color Riche, Intense. And I love this color. It's very similar to the pencil, as you can see. Very similar color to the pencil. And this I love. Perfect color for me. It's kind of, it's a warm color. It's kind of a corally pinky color. It doesn't look like this. This is quite brown when you look at it just as the stick. And it is a gorgeous color. I will link all of these down below for you. And then the last thing, And this was a real kind of out of control splurge, to tell you the truth. Well, is it? Yes, it was actually. I'm not gonna lie. But the last thing I got was this by Number 7. It is their Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer. The bronzers that I am using at the moment are all pressed powdered bronzers, except for I've got a couple of liquid bronzers that I will put on, just dab on with my fingers. But the rest of them are mainly powdered bronzers, and I'm nearly out of them. I've got a MAC one, I've got a Charlotte Tilbury one as well. I did have the Chanel bronzer, and I used that, and I really enjoyed using it, and it was a cream bronzer. However, the Chanel bronzer is about, let me think, 10 times, much more expensive than this bronzer. And I thought, if Number 7 is going to do something well, like makeup, I'll try it, because Number 7 is a great brand. Oh yeah, wow. That's a nice color. So if I remember, there were 3 colors. This is the light. There was a light, medium, and dark. This is the light glow. And I'm just wondering if I should put some on, actually. Let me just have a look at it. Do you think we should go and try it? Yeah, I'm really tempted. Okay, let's go and try it. Okay, here I am. So, there it is. And I'm going to go in with this is a Bare Minerals brush. I wonder if it's like some of those that you need to break the surface first. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Wow, the coverage is amazing. I like to kind of put a little bit here on my hairline because it makes you look as though you've been in the sun. Oh, wow. And now let's just go in with the hands a little bit. Oh, the color is beautiful. It's a really beautiful golden color. And I'm going to tell you now, it's very similar to the Chanel. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. Look at me. Right, let's continue. I better start getting out the fake tan. Look at that. That's lovely. Oh, I like that. Right up into the hairline. Yeah. There you go. Look. Well done, Number 7. So this is the Number 7 Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer in Light Glow. Number 7. There we are. And that's what it looks like there. I'm pretty sure on the website, when they showed it on the website, they show that. They don't obviously not going to show the box that it came in, but that is fabulous. Oh yes, look at me now. I'm very much tanned. Thank you very much. Right, I'm back in the kitchen now, and look how bronze I am. Looks like I've been out sunning myself, which I haven't. Okay, so I think my smoothie jar is now defrosted enough so that I can actually have a smoothie. Oh, just about. Oh dear. One thing I recommend you don't do is don't put the banana at the bottom, because that's what sticks like mad. And just to get the rest of the powder out of here, I'm just going to put a little bit of coconut water in. I normally mix this with, you can do it with a little bit of water if you want your smoothies, but I do like during the day, like now, kind of, you know, mid-morning, I like to have almond milk, and I do like Plenish. I like that brand. There we are. That also helps when it goes in the dishwasher. And so I'm just going to put a little bit more coconut water in because I want to use that up, but I haven't got any almond milk, so I'm going to use my oat milk, my Oatly oat milk. There we are. Nice. So let's blend that up. That should be really delicious. And also I see that the brand new Thermomix has come out, the TM7. And I do think that one of the functions is that it doesn't take as long to switch on, because when you do switch your Thermomix on, it has to kind of calibrate with the internet as well, because it has on there, it's got something like 80,000 recipes on a thing called Cookie Doo, which I really, really like. Oh, it's on, there you go. And it has to connect with that as well, with an app on your phone. So the TM7, and it's really, really sleek looking. I think it's black. Let me just dream a little bit about getting one of those. And I'm going to warn you now, it's a funny colour, because I put some of my greens in there. Oh wow, it does look weird. It's like a grey colour. And I made the exact amount. I'm getting good. I'm getting good at this. Let's try it. It tastes very healthy. There we are, the last of the blooms for the house. And if you watched the last vlog, you will get a lot of deja vu, because I was wearing exactly the same fleece, and these were the bouquet of flowers that I showed you from Freddie's Flowers. So I get my Freddie's Flowers every 2 weeks, and this is the second week of this bouquet, and look at it. It is absolutely fantastic. All I do is I just take them out, as you saw, the blooms. Anything that has wilted and that has died goes on the compost, and the rest I just snip the stems off, I refresh the water, and then I put it back, and it's okay again until my next delivery. You can get subscription every week if you want to. Freddie's Flowers is fabulous. I have been using Freddie's Flowers for a good, wow, 3 years, maybe 4 years. I've been getting on and off. And they come to you without any receptacle, water receptacle. So it takes them a good 24 hours to rehydrate. But because the quality of the flower, because the flowers are so fresh, they you never get anything that's dead. The only thing is you have to just watch the delivery person that brings you your flowers, because if they stand on the box, which I haven't had in the past, and the delivery guy I've got at the moment is really, really good, then you might have to get in touch with Freddie's Flowers and let them know. But I have not had any problems there. I've got this beautiful limonium in here. Their alströmerias last beautifully. Look at the roses. The roses are gorgeous as well. And the lilies are just starting to come out. And with Freddie's Flowers, you can also, there's a shop as well, so you can also get gifts. You can get candles. You can get these types of vases. You can get little bud vases. There's also scissors as well, and there are floristry scissors. There's lots that you can choose from. And I think with Easter coming up, it's a nice little thing to send someone. So you can do, like I said, you can have a delivery every week, you can have a delivery every 2 weeks, you can pause your deliveries. It's very, very easy. And I think value-wise, I think this is £30. It's fabulous. You get all different types of flowers, not your stock standard kind of carnations and chrysanthemums and roses and stuff like that. You get really, really unusual things as well. And I just love it. So this is now going to go back in the living room, and the sun has started to come out. I did get a little bit cold, so I had to put my fleece back on over my top. But the sun is coming out. I'm going to put on some leggings, and I'm definitely going to head off into the garden and do some seed sowing.
So I managed to get outside for a bit. It's a beautiful day. It's still a little bit cold, but I'm in this little kind of sheltered nook of mine that I have in the corner with the greenhouse and the veggie pod next to me. And this is where I do my potting or my sowing of things. And I'm just hoping you can see what I've got there. There we are. So last year, was it last year? I think it was last year. There were a few things that I swore I would never be without in my kitchen garden or veggie garden. The first one is lettuce. I've kind of been okay with that because I have got lettuce in the greenhouse growing over the winter, and then I take over in the garden. So I've been pretty good with that one. The one that has been very successful is spring onions. I said I would never, ever, ever again be without spring onions. And that is what I am doing my next succession of sowing. Spring onions. I don't just do the one spring onion. And when I say spring onions, I mean in Australia, I think they call them green onions or salad onion. Salad onions is the other thing that's called. In the States, I think you guys call them salad onions or green onions. Scallions is another word for it. But over here in the UK, we call them spring onions. And don't ask me why, because I grow them all year round. I don't just grow them in the spring. So there you go. And I am just potting them on in this tray here. This is a tray of 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, it's 40 cells. And I find that when I do 40 cells, it's pretty good for me. See? Oop. Made a mess. So if you are attempting to grow spring onions, they are very, very easy to grow. The only problem that you get with them is that you might get a little bit of black fly. And you know, on your roses, we get something called green fly, which is this awful little bug that sucks the sap out of your roses. Well, black fly is the black version of that. So I have to make sure. I have got a bit of an infestation of black fly on some of my alliums in the garden, and they particularly like spring onions, probably because I particularly like them as well. So I don't grow them in the veggie pods anymore because the black fly loves it in the veggie pods. I just grow them, and what I try and do is I try and put them in all different parts of the garden. And I'm going to show you in a minute my succession of spring onions that I have on the go. But let me just sow these seeds. So these are new to me. This one is, and I was saying, wasn't I, that there are different varieties of spring onions. You can get pinky red spring onions or purpley spring onions. You can get the white spring onions. You can get any onion can be a spring onion. So even when a normal onion is small, you can eat it as a spring onion. However, there are certain varieties that never actually bulb up into a proper onion bulb. And this is one of them here. It's called Pompeii early white bunching. And then they say it does bulb up into spring onion. But when it's something like a bunching onion, and a lot of the time Japanese varieties are bunching onions, so if you're going to look for something, look for a Japanese varieties like one that's really available, readily available, is called ichikuri or something like that. That's a good one. The one that you grow in the winter, which is called White Lisbon, and I think that's what I've got in the greenhouse there, that then becomes a bulbing onion. So if you don't pick them small, don't worry about it, because they will eventually grow into a bulbing onion, and they are delicious. So I'm sprinkling, I don't know, 2 or 3 maybe per cell. This time of year it doesn't really matter because they grow very, very fast. If it was earlier in the year, I'd probably only do 2 per cell, but now I do 2 or 3 per cell. And then all I do is, and I just stuck my fingers in to make little indentations, all I do is just put some soil or compost over the top here, a little bit, reach into my bag of tricks or my bin of tricks, and that's it. Give it a water, and then it stays in the greenhouse until they germinate. It's still a little bit cold at night time for me to think that they're going to germinate really well outside, but later on I will actually be doing them outside. I always do them in these modules as well, because I find it's better success rate, and then I can plant them wherever I want. I mean, I don't have to plant all 40 in one area. I can also dot them around, and that's why I do a lot of things in modules. Let me just pop these back into my bag here. So that's it. I've got to find a label. I've run out of labels. I think I have to order some more labels. I want to show you the ones that I've got in the greenhouse next. That's my next succession. So this here is the next succession, and I can see that they are called guardsmen. Now, guardsmen are a bunching onion as well. These won't really turn into bulbs. I've got bigger ones in the garden, I'll show you. They won't. But these here, let me just I've got 3 per cell. If I just stick my finger underneath there and pull them out, see the roots? They're ready to go out in the garden. So I'm going to plant those out sometime very, very soon. Next to them, these are actual red onions there. So that's not what we want. And these are onions as well. This was my first sowing of onions for the year. Mind you, I think I need to weed in here. Not greatly successful. I did do them inside. I did germinate them inside. So considering I did do that, they're not too bad. These onions are big white ones. They're not the normal brown onion. They're white onions. So they're, well, they're called Utah. I thought they were a Spanish onion. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're an American onion. Utah. And in this raised bed, amongst all the grass that is coming up, this has my overwintered carrots. I've got a few carrots left there, but in between the rows of carrots, I sowed, well, I didn't. I planted these, I didn't sow them. And these ones here are the White Lisbon. These are the ones that you take through the winter hardy ones, very cold hardy. They're a great spring onion. And I've got a few little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 different patches. That is my next succession of spring onions. And I have one more that I am using now. And that's these ones. These are my oldest spring onions here. They are starting to go to flower here, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the taste at all. And I have I've got 4 left. I used some last night. I have 4 left, and you can see how big they get, but they haven't developed into a big bulb. That's how they will stay. Again, these are guardsmen. These are exactly the same as the ones that I've got in the greenhouse. But I thought that they'd actually gone to mush with the frost, but they didn't, and they are massive. I mean, just one of those, you can see how big it is. One of those is enough for, well, both of us, Mr. N and I, or otherwise 2 or 3 meals for me. So that is my succession of spring onions. Tonight for dinner, I am going to have a creamy pasta with sausage in. And I must say, these are not the best sausages that I have ever had in my life.
But that is all that was at the supermarket. I kind of fancied it. I've got some really nice sausages in the freezer, but because I was kind of cutting all of these up, I thought, okay, let's just have these because they're going to be kind of mushed up in the pan behind me. And this is a really, really easy recipe to make. So I thought that I would include it on my vlog. So I have 2 pans here. One is a saucepan in the back and that has boiling water on. And into that I am going to put some tortiglioni rigati. Try and find the biggest kind of round rigatonis you can possibly find. This would have been better, but I don't have enough, really. I mean, even if I was like on a major diet, that's not enough for me. And that is the Paccheri number 111, but that doesn't matter. So I thought, okay, let's go and see what Morrison's has got. And Morrison's doesn't have a great deal when it comes to the old pasta thing. I have to do another pasta order, and I normally get my pasta from a sous chef. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to do this rigati, which is, let's have a look how big it is. I've got some kind of rigatoni, they're all right. They're not hugely great. You do want something a little bit bigger than that, but it doesn't matter because what you do want is you want all the sauce to go into the holes of those. So that water is boiling there, which is good. I'm not going to put the pasta on yet because I want the pasta to kind of be ready exactly at the same time as the sauce. I don't really want the pasta to sit long. So let's get on with this now. The frying in the pan behind me is 1 onion, well, nearly an onion. The rest I've got in here, it's about 2/3 of an onion. And have you seen these little things? I think I got these from Lakeland originally, but you can get them also from Amazon. And you put whatever you've got, half of something left that's that shape. Apple, avocado, onion, anything like that, you can put into that and it stays in the fridge for a long time. I am just doing 3 cloves of garlic. Let me give this a stir. It's going a bit too brown for me. In my garlic press, these things are so difficult. I do like to sometimes mince my garlic, just on a board with a little bit of salt, but this is fast, really fast. So I have the onion. Now I put the garlic in. I just stir it for a few seconds actually while I'm talking to you. And then I put in these awful sausages. No, they're all right. They're just kind of normal supermarket pork sausages. They go in. They're going to fry. And as they're frying, I'm going to kind of mush them down. If you're using really good sausages, let me just turn it up a bit now. If you're using really good sausages, you're going to have to take the casing off the sausages. And look at that sun. We're being bedazzled by the sun. I can't believe it. I think I'm going to have to move the camera. Anyhow, let me show you the sausages. So I just chopped them up because the casings are going to just disappear anyhow in these sausages. And over there is my water boiling. I just got to put some salt in it and then let this cook for a bit. Another thing I found in the fridge that I needed to use was this kale. I've got some cavallonero here in the fridge. I normally have quite a lot in the freezer, but I've run out. I've used it all. And I forgot to go and pick the chard that's in the garden. So I'm going to use this cavallonero and I'm going to add it because I don't really like kale really crunchy. I don't mind it sometimes in salads, but rest of the time I like it cooked. I'm going to put it in now so it just cooks a little bit. But I would normally, if I wasn't putting kale in now, then I would be putting in the cream, which is what goes next. Let me just put the lid on and just sweat this down. Oh, that's the wrong lid. There we are. Let me just sweat that kale down just a little bit. And when that is done, then I will put the cream in. How quick was that? Let's try these sausages. They're quite tasty. They're just, you know, a sausage. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Buon appetito, everybody. I'm gonna have enough for this. Well, I wonder if I can freeze it. No, I should be able to freeze it for at least 5 days. Yummy, yummy.
Don't think it's warm by any stretch of the imagination.
Good morning, everybody. What a lovely way to start the day. Well, I find it's a lovely way to start the day. My walks. I have enjoyed my walks so much in the mornings. I try and get up early. I go and do my walk. Then I come home and do everything else that I need to do. And I have really been loving my walks because the weather has been fabulous and the weather's going to be great today. And I think it might be starting to warm up a little bit. Because we're on the east coast, the wind is quite chilly, nippy and chilly. Yes, definitely. I'm just looking here for my Garnier. I've just put this on, the Garnier Body Summer that I mentioned to you from my Boots order. I love this stuff. It's starting to give me a really nice kind of glow, deep sun-kissed glow. It is kind of golden glow. It's not like the Dove one. The Dove one gives you more of a kind of browny look. This is more a golden glow, and I do love it. And like I said, there's no self-tan smell, you know, that kind of funny smell. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was I've had another flare-up of what is called menopausal blepharitis. Now, blepharitis you can get without menopause, and males and females can get it. And it is when you get that dry eye syndrome, so you get lots of burning eyes, your eyes start weeping, they get very red and bloodshot. Mine is a little bit different. I have started to get a little bit of dry eyes, but that's not too bad. Mine is more a skin issue. I started getting it last year, I noticed, and I woke up one morning, and I, in particular, was in Australia, and I put it down to being allergic to the cats. I woke up one morning, and all around the kind of top of my cheekbone area blew up. It was red, it was itchy, it was burning, it was awful, and then it became very swelly. And sometimes I get kind of puffiness under the eye as well, which means that it's swelling. And on my eyelids, sometimes through the eyebrows as well, but it's all around the kind of eye area. And it's not eczema, but it is a kind of dermatitis. So I investigated it. I thought, is it an allergy to something? So I was taking antihistamines. This was in Australia. And then I realized that it was hormonal. I've just had another flare up. I had it last weekend, the flare up. And it lasts for about 2, maybe 3 days. And then I have to be really careful about what I put on my skin. I can't be doing my kind of stuff that, especially if I've been gifted anything or I've bought anything new, I can't be putting anything like that on my face for the moment. So this is what I do use, and I wanted to just show you. The first thing is I've got this amazing mask that I put on. I do quite a lot of the, what do they call it, sheet masks, but I mainly do it with hyaluronic acid. I do the hydrating ones. I sometimes do the under eye little ones as well. I'll do those sometimes in the morning when I'm downstairs making my brekkie. But this mask has been great, and this is a mask by a company called Plein Air. I think I got this when I used to get the minted boxes. I don't know whether you've ever had a minted box before, but that's a subscription service, and it's worth looking into it. They're quite pricey, but you get great products. And I got this skin frosting, deeply hydrating mask. This has been amazing. And you can put it, it's for very, very sensitive skin. When you put it on, it feels quite tacky. When you take it off, it leaves a kind of film on the face, and your face feels very, very hydrated. Love this. So I've been doing it quite regularly, mainly at night time, when I'm kind of on the computer doing things. The next thing that I do, so eye cream. I haven't been able to do any of my eye creams that I mentioned before. So the only one, and so what I try and do now is I come in with very, very light things for my eyes. And I'm finding that this Clarins double serum has been really, really good and really quite, what's the word for it? Gentle, I would say. I just pop it on my hand like this, and then I just give it a little bit of a rub in around the eyes. So what happens is after the whole blepharitis goes down and the redness and the itchiness goes down, you're then left with extremely dry skin, and it feels a bit like a crocodile. Not that I've ever felt crocodile before. Maybe I have. I don't know. Crocodile skin, and it stays very, very dry for quite a while until it gets back to normal again. Try not to start doing any exfoliation or peels or anything like that, because that is going to irritate it as well. You have to kind of go in with as natural products as possible. And the one thing that I do use regularly is this. Now, I mean, I suppose you could use the stuff from the cupboard in the kitchen, but this is from a company called Peep Club. They do a little eye infrared light thing as well, which I do love. When my eyes get very puffy, I use that. But this is their coconut eye balm, and I just think it's coconut oil. And I have been using this all over my face, and it sucks in, and then I'll put another layer on as well. So that's kind of my base layer of what I've been doing. At night time, I then do the Weleda. You know I love this stuff. I bang on about this stuff all the time. The rose one is really, really good as well. In Ayurvedic terms, blepharitis is all about the heat and the congestion in the body. It kind of blows up and comes out of your skin. So Ayurveda talks about roses quite a lot, because rose petals and rose essence is really good for calming the system. The other two products that I use as a moisturizer, I also whack Nivea on. And I know people either love or hate Nivea, but I've got one of my big Niveas here. I have to wait a couple of days for Nivea, because Nivea is a little bit strong as well in chemicals, so that doesn't really help. But what does really, really help me is my Allies of Skin Peptides and Antioxidants Firming Day Treatment. This stuff is wonderful. And this is what I normally put on in the day. But because my skin is so dry, I do 2 layers. And the other layer that I put on is the U Beauty Super Hydrator. This is a great product as well, but it's much, much lighter than the Allies of Skin. It's kind of like my first base. And then I go off and do stuff. I put this on. I then put the Allies of Skin on. I've already done the eye serum as well. And then by the time I've gone downstairs and made my brekkie, I'm working today, I've got clients today, so I need to kind of have breakfast early. And I think I'm going to do boiled eggs with soldiers. By the time I've done that, all of this, this Allies of Skin moisturizer is the best. The best. If you go on Instagram, I haven't looked whether they've done it on YouTube, but if you go on Instagram, the founder of Allies of Skin, and I'm not gonna even attempt to remember his name, He, right at the top, they've pinned a post that he did about his story and why he founded Allies of Skin. And it's really, really interesting. It is definitely worth a listen to. I can't remember his name. That's terrible. So that's me. I'm going to go downstairs, do my eggies, and then I'll come back upstairs and put on some of that makeup that I got yesterday. Right, sorry I didn't have the sound on, but I was watching a YouTube video. Oh dear. And talking to Mr. N at the same time. So I'm going to say this. This is going to be one of my favorites this year. If you're older skinned, then I would definitely go for a cream bronzer. It's definitely worth it because you might find that the bronzers that you use that are powder bronzers might make you drier than you actually are. So this is the number 7 Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer in Light Glow. And this is going to be one of my favorites. I'm going to be using this all summer. Love it. Absolutely love it. My base, I put on this Lumen CC cream in medium. I don't know whether you've come across this brand before. This is a really, really good brand. I'll link it below, actually. I'll link all this stuff below so you can have a look. And then I went in for my cheeks. I tried out this Rodial blush drops, but it's the wrong color for me. It's Apricot Sorbet, and as you can see, it's a little bit too orange for me. So I just put a little bit of that on, and then I put the Stiller color in Petunia on. I really do like that. Again, this is all kind of cream stuff that I'm using for my skin, and it just keeps it hydrated, especially now that I've had this blepharitis. The eyebrows are fantastic. Perfect color for me. I went for brunette. I think it says light brunette, and with a little spoolie on the end. Great idea. And my eyebrows look really good. And this laminator, I think these two things are going to be definitely what I'm going to be using from now on, because the laminator, when I put it on, it went all in the right area. My eyebrows went all in the right area, which is really, really great. And I do quite like a darker eyebrow. Mind you, it is very, very close to my natural hair color. I always thought I was a dark blonde, but now I'm becoming a brunette. I've got a little bit of the lip balm on my lips because now I'm going to do my lips as well. So let's find the lip pencil in organza that I got. Color Riche. This is the L'Oreal. When I used this yesterday, I noticed how soft the pencil was. So you could definitely blend it into the whole lip. It's a great color for me. Really, really great color for me. That's that one. And then the lipstick, which I know is a great color for me because I've used it before, is also the L'Oreal, and it is number 505, Color Riche Nude Intense. And I showed you yesterday. Isn't it lovely? It just gives me that kind of corally kind of color. You can put a gloss on top if you want to. I have this Charlotte Tilbury here. Let's put this on. I don't know what this is called. Something like Coachella, something or other. I haven't got my glasses, so I can't tell you. So, look at that. And I feel really, really hydrated. I also put on my SPF. I did my Dermalogica
SPF 30 today because I'm not going to go outside at all. When I do go outside, I put a 50 on and I use the Beauty Pie SPF 50 that I put on. Well, actually in the summer, I put that on most days. So that's me. Nice, not too caked on makeup. Looks very, very natural. And I love that. All be linked below. My whole Boots thing will be linked below, my Boots haul that I did. Right, I'm going to dry my hair now, and then I have to move the car around the back out of the garage because my clients park in the garage, and I will be getting on with my day. After lunch, I am going to go to let me think where I'm going to go. Oh, to the North Sea Observatory for a coffee after lunch, or maybe even a matcha after lunch. But until I'm trying to put everything in this morning. Until my client arrive, I've still got a couple of hours before my first client arrive. I mentioned to you about my Abercrombie order that I did for jeans. I'm just going to go next door and I'm going to show you and try them on because I need to do a few short form thingies for Instagram. I wonder if I'm going to, yeah, I'll probably put it on YouTube as well. So let me go and show you those. You know how I mentioned to you that I was doing an Abercrombie short form video for Instagram for my reels? Well, this is another pair of jeans that I got from them. The first pair of jeans that I had, the mid-wash jeans, were the loose fit jean. And I showed you these in my last vlog. They are the loose high-rise fit. So they are wonderful. And these are the loose low-rise baggy jeans. I actually think that they fit me better. I've gone up too far for size actually. These are a 33 regular, the others were a long, so I've made mistakes through the whole of this order. So I'm going to have to send all of it back and then repurchase it in the sizes that I needed. 33 regular is too big for me, but the length is good, as you can see. So I'm going to have to go down to the 32 or the 31. So I might have to buy one of each and try them out. And then, but I think that I will actually keep these because they are really good on the waist. I quite like them. They're not too low rise and the other ones weren't too high rise either. So yeah, I think, and as I've mentioned before, Abercrombie Curve Love jeans give you the extra 2 inches on your hips and on the thighs as well. I do need it on the thighs. I'm not sure whether I need it so much on the hips. I did mention it last time in my last vlog that I might even get a pair of their normal range jeans as well and try them out. But I love this look. I just feel that a white jean just elevates everything. It brings it into kind of the spring, and great quality jeans. And these ones here are the Curve Love mid-rise slouchy jean. They've got a cuff on the bottom, you can see. You can unpick it if you want to, if you're taller than me. And again, very generous, really nice fit, too big for me. So I'm going to have to size down, and I've just paired them, make it a little bit more dressy with just a black skinny rib and some heels as well. And they look great. I do like dark jeans with heels just to kind of dress it up. So I think that Abercrombie jeans, if you are looking for that extra space in the hips and in the thighs, go for Abercrombie jeans. They are absolutely fantastic. They will last you forever because they're really well made. And yeah, I like this. Looks great. Yay. I'm just sitting here for a minute while I gird my loins because I think it's going to be busy here today. I have come out to the North Sea Observatory here in Chapel St Leonard's, or Chapelle St Leonard as I call it. The sun has come out this afternoon. It is gorgeous, and I think I'm probably wearing too many layers thinking about it. Mind you, it says it's only 11 degrees, and we are on the North Sea, the east side of the country with the North Sea, so it could be a little bit breezy and cold. I've come out here because I want to show you this beautiful building. We've been here before, but it is really lovely. The view is spectacular, and hopefully I can get a coffee. If I don't get one sitting inside, then I'll have one takeaway coffee, and I'm going to do a little walk here. I think today my walk is going to be here. Well, I've done a walk already, but this is my kind of second walk. And it is just really, really beautiful. And yeah, let's just do it, shall we? It's quite windy. It's always windy on this east coast here. So this is the the North Sea Observatory, and it doesn't look very big from the outside, but it is really lovely. And as you saw, I had a lovely coffee in there. Actually, I had a matcha, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. The kids are out. Must be already Easter holidays, because the kids are out on the beach. The English people are braving the beach as they do. It's not warm. It's about 14 degrees, but for here I suppose that is quite warm, and when the sun shines everybody is out. And as you can see, this here is a gorgeous beach. The east coast where we live in Lincolnshire is gorgeous, and there's I'm not sure how busy it gets here in the summer. It probably does get a little bit busy. The waves are crashing in. On the other side of the observatory, there are some little chalets, and people rent those out. So that would get quite busy. And you can see the sea is a-lapping. Gorgeous day, absolutely gorgeous day. I'm happy I came out here. They also have exhibitions inside this observatory, art exhibitions as well. So there we are. Lovely, lovely afternoon in April. So I'm going to say goodbye from in front of my greenhouse. The sun is over there and it's setting, and I've come out in my gardening clothes to do a little bit of gardening before the sun goes down and just enjoy the rest of this day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed my vlog. They're getting a little bit longer now, I notice, but I am trying to get my vlogs out on a Friday evening every week, and I'm hoping that if I cut my vlogs down by time, I might be able to get 2 out a week. My name's Susie B, and this is Susie B Lifestyle. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be getting more vlogs from me here in Lincolnshire. And thumbs up, and any comments, let me know. Everything will be linked below, as I mentioned to you before. All my discount codes are on my website, and yeah, thanks for joining me. Bye.